Hi everyone, this is Saram Tadepalli. Welcome to my channel Tech and Life. So this one is a very quick video, and this is not about completely a technology thing as well as not a life theory thing. So I would like to explain a few tips for examinations. So actually on Monday I have, my students have Python programming subject as JNTUK end semester exam, and they are worried about how to attempt actually how to understand the problem given in the question paper. So four sets will be there, you all know about it. So forget about whether it is a JNTUK or any other university. I would like to explain how to understand first of all. So what are the concepts are there in the syllabus according to the curriculum, and so I'm going to explain everything in the form of syllabus step by step, and after that I would like to explain about how you need to study, and next one how you need to attempt each and every question. So how the question pattern will be there, I will explain in this video. So please do watch this video completely, and this one is a very long video because I need to explain the syllabus, I need to explain the few important concepts, and next I need to explain the procedure of writing a question in the question paper. Actually I need to explain the procedure of writing the answer for every question, most probably the major questions in the question paper. So please do watch this video completely. If this video feels important to you, please share the people who are studying Python programming for Monday examination, or any other university people who are about to write Python programming end semester or internals examinations. So let's get started, and I'm using my laptop here, so I'm recording the screen. So I will explain step by step procedure what the syllabus is speaking about, and also one thing, for complete Python programming you need to follow this book. So Python Programming: A Modern Approach by Vamshi Kurma, and it's a Pearson Publications. So these are the people who are publishing this book, and it's a very less cost. I think 350 or even less than 350. It will be available in Amazon and Flipkart. I will be giving the link of this book in my description of this video, and you can purchase for further reference. Not only for this examination, if you want to practice Python programming, you can use this book as the reference. And let's get into the video, and the syllabus things, the syllabus curriculum things, and everything will be available in this textbook. So I will be communicating, and or I will be explaining the concepts through online portals using some blogs or tutorials, and also using this textbook. So first of all, keep this aside. Let's get started this understanding the syllabus, what they gave in syllabus of JNTUK R19 regulation BTech second year first semester. So this is a third exam for 2-1 semester. So let's get started. So this one is R19 Python programming syllabus. So this one is R19 regulation for information technology and computer science students. Especially this is for information technology things students, and let's search for Python programming. So here it is. This one is the Python programming syllabus, and coming to course objectives and course outcomes, we don't need to bother about that one. So let's check syllabus. So in unit 1 they are giving brief introduction to Python programming. So how Python development cycle will be there, what are the input variables, and what are the proceedings you need to do using Python programming. So while I teach in class, I used to work on Jupyter Notebook. So most of my funny Python coding series will be is in Jupyter Notebook only, because Jupyter Notebook is having effective library inclusions and also effective performance, because GPU will be performed or utilized accurately. So I'm using Jupyter Notebook. So what are the inputs and processing and output using Python programming, and displaying output with a print function, that is a basic. For example, a equal to 10, b equal to 20, c equal to a plus b, print c. So this is a sample addition programming. Like this, we can perform any kind of arithmetic or any kind of operations in Python. So print function, basic print function, how we need to print, and instead of using a c variable, we can directly print of a plus b. So like that, we can use print function. So it's asking about what is the purpose of print function. So this is not a 8-mark question or 7-mark question or 15-mark question. It will be a 2-mark question or 1-mark question in your paper. So it will deal with a predefined method, a print function, so that you can understand how to use this print function while coding. Next one, comments. So what the thing we will use for comments? Hash. So hash will be using for commenting. So in other programming languages, we use a single slash or a double slash, slash star, star slash. So like that, we used to use for commenting things in other programming languages. But using in Python, we use hash. So this is the thing you need to keep it in mind, because in the same curriculum we used to discuss about OOPS through C++. So the same course in 2.1 they have OOPS to C++ data structures. So you may get confused with all these things with Python, because why I'm telling data structures means, so if we are dealing with Python data structures, we need to discuss only 4 concepts: lists, tuples, dictionaries and sets, not stacks, queues, linked list, arrays, trees, graphs. So we should not discuss all these things, because I've seen so many answer sheets with the same concept. That is, they used to discuss about stacks, queues, linked list, and even so many mentioned hash tables in Python data structures. So even in this textbook, they discuss only 4. So Python is dealing with 4 major data structures: lists, tuples, dictionaries and sets. So when there is a question related to data structures in Python, we need to discuss only those 4 things, not more than that or not less than those 4. Okay, keep that in mind. So don't mess up with common data structure concepts or OOPS concepts with this Python concepts. So the background may be similar, the purpose may be similar, but operations will be differ from programming language to language. So you need to keep it in mind while discussing or while writing any kind of answer related to data structure or any type of OOPS related answer, which will differ from C++ to or Java to Python. So like this, you need to understand the question first. And next one is variables. So how we will define the variables? In Python, we specifically will not define the data type of any kind of variable. If it is a equal to 10, then it will be automatically considered as an integer. So to check that one, you can use the type method, type function, which is an inbuilt function. So you can check type of a. You can enter the in code cell type of a, then it will show the data type of that specific variable you assigned right in that moment. So you need not to mention int a equal to 10 or char b equal to Python, like that. You need not to mention in Python programming language. You can directly use the variables, and the interpreter, which is working behind the program, can understand which type of data type you are using in the program. You need not to mention it explicitly. So if there is any question related to data types, explain about the data types in Python, it's different. So we can discuss it later. I will show the entire procedure. So it's different, but there is no concept of defining the variables with the data types in Python. You can directly define the variables with some values, or we can use null variables. Later you can use those kind of things. So these are the things you need to understand while writing code in Python programming examination. And next one, reading inputs from the keyboard. So uh, for example, there is a sample program like a and b. You need to add a and b, and you need to print in the form of c, addition operation. So c equal to a plus b. Here input variables, a equal to 10, b equal to 20 means hardcore values, so we should not give direct values. So it's asking about you need to enter the variables runtime using keyboard. So what we will use, input. There is a function called input. So a equal to int of input of enter first number, b equal to int of input of enter second number. Why I need to give int there? So I need to convert that input which which the user is giving, which is in the form of string, to the integer format. So by default it will not be in integer format. That's why I am converting the form of the type of that a variable or b variable. So that means typecasting. So there is the concept called typecasting. From the starting stage of programming language, we use the word typecasting. So typecasting means changing one data type into another data type. So here the thing which we are giving as an input is not integer format. So that's why we need to convert that into the integer format. For that you need to mention it as int of input. Int of input, enter the variable a. Int of input, enter the variable b. C equal to a plus b, print c. Like that you can use. Because already they are converted into integer format a and b, then c also will be in the integer format only by default, because operation and the result will be saving in c. So the result is integer, c is automatically the integer variable. So there is no point of getting an error. So like this we use inputs from keyboard and performing calculations. So we all know all these calculations. We use daily calculator, right? So daily calculator operations will be performed using Python program. It's very simple. Use a and b like that in how you took as a keyboard variable. Then you can directly use that as c equal to a plus b, d equal to a minus b, e equal to a into b, f equal to a by d, a by b, like that. Double slash, that means floor division, double hashtag, that means exponent, mod operations. Like this you can perform different kind of calculations, which will be a practice for you, a simple basic practice, so that you can understand how to assign a variable in Python. So because why I am stressing the word assigning means why in the previous semester you used to work on C programming, right? In C programming, you need to initialize the variable, you need to declare the variable. You need to initialize the variable, you need to declare the variable. So declaring means int a, it's declaring. Initializing means int a equal to 0. That means you are initializing the variable a with the value 0. So that's the difference. But in Python programming, you need not to mention that int, char, string, float, like that. Just you need to give the value to the variable, then you can directly perform some kind of operations. If there is any casting difference, interpreter will automatically throw a traceback error to you in the IDE. So you need not to worry about the things here. And type conversions. So already I mentioned here, type conversions means converting one format to another format. That means here I performed input variables, taking inputs from keyboard, then I converted that from one format to integer format. That means typecasting. Type conversion is nothing but typecasting. So if there is any question like typecasting, explain about typecasting in Python, don't get confused. It's about type conversions. You can take the example of taking input from keyboard. Sorry. Taking input from the keyboard. So you can take input from the keyboard like a plus b, like that. Then you can make it as an example for type conversion. Next, expressions, more about data output. So all these things can be explained with the example in the later part of this video. And coming to bottom part, numerical data types and character sets using functions and modules. So functions and modules, what are the different data types, numerical data types and decision structures, Boolean logic, if else, if else statements, nested decision structures, comparison strings, logical operators, Boolean variables, repetition structures. So we know something about the concept called functions in previous learnings. I mean previous things. While you are using CPP, you can know about the functions, the term functions, and what is the requirement of using functions in our programming language. So reusability, it's a kind of reusability. We can call the functions whenever we require. To be precise, I'm explaining. So we can use the functions, so we can call those functions whenever we require with the different signatures. So we can get these concepts of method overloading or overriding a later part of this video, but just focus on few basic things. So decision structures, Boolean logic, comparisons. So string comparison. So we take set of strings and we will check whether the contents in the string 1 is equal to the string 2 or not. Substrings, we compare substrings. So like this, we have few methods and functions in Python programming. If condition, conditional operators. So we need to give one condition. If the condition satisfies, then the specific statement will be printed. If the condition not satisfied, then we need to check for the alternative, then it will go for if else. So if there is any nested statements, if else, that means if you want to give 3 or 2 or more conditions, then you can go for if else kind of statements. Like this, you need to understand the situation first of all. So for example, I am taking 3 variables A, B, C. I am assigning some specific values there. A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equal to 30. So like this, you need to check which variable is greater than other 2 variables. Then how will you check? So in if condition, you will check if A equal to less than or equal to B, print A is less than B. Else if B greater than or equal to A and B greater than or equal to C, print B is greater than. Again, else if. So like this, you can use nested things in your conditional statements. Finally, in else statement, the last condition will be printed. Like that, you need to understand the problem. You need to design the program like that. Nested decision trees and Boolean variables, repetition statements. I will show you from an online source where you need to study so that you can get a clear picture. And coming to unit 2 and unit 3, if you observe that, so all these things will be elaborative things from the unit 1. All these unit 2 and 3 will be elaborative things from unit 1, because control statement, some part of the control statement will be explained in the first thing, first unit only. Define iteration of the loop formatting text or for output selection, if and if else statements, conditional iteration, while loop. So based on the conditions, how while loop will be repeating in the loop, and all these things, string and text strings. So string operations will be there, accessing character and substrings in the string. That means slicing. So slicing means it's not only dividing the string or input, so it's getting the part of the string. So if I want a specific part of the string, then I need to go for string, substring and slicing. So slicing is the concept of getting the specific part from a main string. So like that, you need to understand. So in general, while cooking, slices means what? So you will take a large part of the item, then you will make it into pieces, like paneer. So we will take entire paneer set and we will make that into the chunks like that. So we will make slices. So we will take which part we require, then we will use it for cooking like that. Slicing means in the whole string, we need to get only one some part. That is called as slicing. So you need to understand first of all which part you need to require and what is the slicing methodology you need to use. So this one is the major part that plays in questions, because it can get in 2 marks question, because they can give some sort of a string, and here they will ask for the specific output. What is the syntax you need to use? Next one, string methods, text files, data encryption. So this one is one of the important concept. I think I can expect this question, data encryption and decryption, at least in 2 sets in Monday's exam. Because data encryption is a concept of security, how your data can be encrypted, how your data can be decrypted. So here in this example we can use Caesar cipher. So Caesar cipher, we are taking a plain text and we are giving a specific key, that is incrementing the string values to a specific number. That is, for example, string number is 6, then each and every alphabet number will be shifted to +6, then it will get a decrypted message. Like that, we need to decrypt that one. I mean, ciphertext, we need to decrypt the ciphertext. That means we are converting the ciphertext into the plain text again with the same amount of key. So it's a kind of data encryption. So only data encryption is discussed in this syllabus, but it is better to understand data decryption also. It's only one simple formula is there, entire thing will be same. But for this thing, you need to understand accessing character. Accessing character means ASCII variables. That means if it is a capital 65, so its ASCII value is 65. Sorry, capital A. If it is capital A, the ASCII value is 65. If it is capital B, the ASCII value is different. If it is small a, ASCII value is different. For every component in my keyboard is having one ASCII value that is uniquely identified while we are typing. So our operating system is understanding our operations of typing the variables in the form of ASCII variables. So like that, accessing characters is also one of the important concepts you need to understand. And next one is string methods. I spoke about string methods, strings and number system. So it's a kind of DLD thing. So you all know about 8421 format, right? DLD 2 power n. Sorry, 2 power n. Yeah, 2 power n things. So if it is if it is n equal to 3, 2 power 3. That means 8 combinations of the variables, input variables thing will be there. I mean, yes, 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0, like that you need to assign. So after that, using AND operation, OR operation, negation, or something implies, double implies, whatever you require, you can modify in the form of truth table. So keep that aside. But in this unit, you need to majorly focus on 3 things, that is while loop, and also selection, if and if else statement conditions, and also recursive functions. That means some sort of examples they will ask that you need to print the variables from 0 to 100 in the form of loop with some increment operation. That means if it is 0, starting number 0, then the next number needs to be in the form of 2, I mean +2. So like this, you need to focus on the range. For loop, range you will be there. So for I in range 0 to 101, not 100, because the upper boundary +1. So if you want to print from 0 to 100, you need to give 0 to 101, 0 to 101, because in Python, if it is 100, you need to print as a last number. You need to give it as a upper boundary +1. You need to keep that in mind. So after that, you need to mention the jumping variable. That means how much gap you need to give. That is here I want 2, right? After 0, I need to print 2. After 2, I need to print 4. Like that, all even numbers up to 100. So that is for I in range 0, 101, 2. Then come into the for loop block. Then print I /n. So /n for new line. Like that, it will print from 0 to 100 without any break. Okay, then break and continue statement. There is the just I spoke about the word break and continue. I can discuss it with regarding it later. But let's move into unit 3. So in unit 3, as we discussed, list and dictionaries. So where is the tuple? Need not to worry about that one. Actually, tuple is also most important thing, because you may get the question like what is the difference between list and tuple? One is mutable, one is immutable. That means list can be modified. After creating a list, you can modify any number of times, n number of times, but you can't perform any kind of operations in tuples because they cannot be changed. Once a tuple created, that's it, it's a slab. So but what is the difference between list and tuple? Major thing, list is also list is also using for carrying multiple data type elements. The tuple is also carrying for multiple data type elements. So for some sort of applications, the application usage will be different in for list and tuples. For all applications, tuple will not be acceptable. For all applications, list cannot be acceptable. But for every application, dictionaries can be acceptable. Because what are dictionaries? Dictionaries are key value pairs. That means I'm a faculty, so I need to take attendance of my students. So all my students, 64 member students are there, I need to take attendance. So how I need to identify that one? How I need to identify them? How I need to identify their roll call, nominal roles? How I need to identify? In the form of key value, that is their roll number is the key and their name can be the value. Otherwise, roll number is the variable. That roll number value will be the value for the roll number. So roll number, the word roll number is the key. The value, that means 19 HP 180 1201 will be the value. So like that, some X thing will be the value to the specific variable, key value. Like that, I can access the entire class data. Like that, you need to perform in dictionaries. List, defining simple functions, dictionaries in third unit, and design a function. And functions as abstraction mechanism, problem solving with the top-down design with the recursive function, case study, gathering information from file system. So file systems, read operation, write operation, append, R plus, W plus, T plus, so many things are there. So combination of file operations are there. I am going to show everything in this video, no problem in that. Just I am discussing the syllabus. So in this thing, another concept is there, modules. So packages and modules. So for example, you want to include a package in your program. That means you need to create a module in another program. That means I create a module like a module 1 in one program that takes addition operation. That means whenever I want to perform addition operation, I need to use that module. Like that, in second program, I am calling from that module 1, import add. That means in first Python file, I created a module. In that module, I created a function with the name add. In that add, I perform some operation, that is C equal to A plus B. In that function, I am taking def function, add function, A comma B I am taking. In that function, I am mentioning that print C equal to A plus B or print A plus B. Like that, I am closing the function. So after that, I am writing another code in that from that file name, a specific file name. So from that specific file name, I am calling that specific module, that is module 1. So after importing that module 1, what I will get that one, in that module 1 function add is there. So I am using that add indirectly. So like that, functions and packages will work. So I am going to show that one also, no problem. And coming to unit 4. And before moving to unit 4, as I said that in unit 3 you need to understand the difference between list and tuples, and how a list can be converted into a tuple. and how a dictionary can be used as a list, and how a list can be converted to the dictionary. So like this, few things will be there. And one more thing, file operations, reverse a string, note it one. And in this video also, while I am telling, few important things will be mentioned in the form of 3D subtitle in the video. Otherwise, right side. So it's a chat stuff. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the everything, right? So those will be defined in the ground part, 3D titles like in the bottom of the video. So you need not to worry about the concept names. And in this third unit, so problem solving with the top-down design methodologies and recursive functions. In recursive function, while you are preparing for recursive function, be conscious on factorial problem. So n into n minus 1. So it looks simple, but it will be some sort of tricky. So if there is any question with a recursive function, if they are not asking about any specific example, just write factorial function. So you will get complete marks. And next one, modules and packages. So all these things need to be understand. So what are the modules and what are the packages? What's the procedure of creating a module and the package? So you need to understand these things. So these are the 3-4 important questions in this third unit. And coming to fourth unit, so this one is the very big one, file operations. So some of the file operation we discussed in previous section. In this unit, reading config files, what are the config files, XML files, JSON files, like that we have different for config files, and how dictionaries are being used for these kind of config files. I have few written examples in IP&B file, so I will try to share in the comment section of this video, I mean in the description of this video, so that you can refer those IP&B files. And understanding the read line and read lines, there is a small difference between read line, read and read lines. So you need to understand write and write lines also as having small difference. And manipulating file pointer using seek. So seek is the another method or function you need to understand, and what are the different file operations, writing, appending. And first of all, you need to open the file, you need to close the file. These two things you need to understand. To open to operate on this laptop, I need to open the laptop. After completing the work, I need to close the laptop. So these are the things I need to do like that. In this thing, you need to focus on object-oriented programming things like overloading, overriding, or what are the classes, what are the objects, how to create a class, how to create an object to the class. And what is an object? First of all, what is an object? You need to understand that one. What is a class? A blueprint. So what is an object? The things which will be carried in the class. And to be precise, so inheritance, what are the different types of inheritance mechanisms are available in Python. So if there is any question related to inheritance, so don't draw that diagram dramatically using pencils, erasers, scales and color pencils. Just you need to focus on syntax and example and sample output. You need to write the diagram, I agree, but don't do some dramatical sketches for that examination. So it look complete awkward. I used to correct these internal papers. Matter will be less, diagram will be in the form of Bahubali diagram. Why you need to write all these things? You need not to write any, you need not to draw some cinematic structures, dramatic sketches you need not to draw in the question answer paper. You need to focus on the concept, just to focus on the concept, just write the syntax, just write the definition, just write a sample example and with output, expected output. That's simple. A small diagram is enough, but Don't use half paper to draw only one single diagram, that with the 3 blocks. Root children. For that you need to use complete half page. Don't do like that. And in this example, in this complete unit, they are discussing about 2 case studies, that is ATM and also one more thing. I forgot the one more thing. Okay, no problem. ATM is the main thing. And in ATM they are using switch cases. So you know about switch cases, and before you knowing switch cases, you need to know about 2 terms: break, continue. So break and continue are the 2 key points. So where you need to understand while or if condition, for loop. So while some condition is satisfying, you need to break at that moment. So that means you need to stop that one. That means if you are moving in the highway, outer ring road, if the speed crosses 100, then you need to, you need to get some chalana that you for over speed on that road. Otherwise, your speedometer need to be understand that your speed limits, and it has to automatically get down from that specific speed. Like that, some brake operation will be there. Continue. So after that, it will, after getting continue, it will skip that part and it will move to the next part. Like that it will perform. So you need to understand the break and continue things. And constructor, instance creations, class attributes, real-time use of classes in live projects, inheritance is the basic OOPS concepts. Polymorphism, existing in many forms, abstraction and encapsulation, hiding the actual things. So how the things will be going on by hiding the actual things, I'm going to explain with some sample examples in this video. I already said that this will be a long video, so don't worry about that one. If you want to clear Python programming in the single attempt, just try to focus on this video completely. And just I am trying to explain like I am in the class, I am speaking with my students. So don't take it as a too serious YouTube video. So it's a kind of class. It's a kind of class. So next, data modeling and class case studies, ATM structuring and class inheritance, polymorphism. All these things are discussed in this 4th unit. And the main concepts from this unit are a difference between write and write lines, read line and read lines, and different file operations, how you need to open, how you need to close, how to write into the file, how to open the file, how to create a file which is not created, how to open the file which is not available. And that means if there is no file to open, you need to create the file and you need to open the file. Like that you need to do the things. And in the next section, in the next unit, you will get the exception handling. So in other OOPS concepts like CPP, C++ or Java, you will get the concepts like try, catch, throw, throws, finally, like that. But here only we have 3 things: try, except, finally. Okay, try, except, finally. So when you are using exceptions, that means user-defined exceptions, predefined exceptions. So exceptions are must and should be included in the programming, because some sort of RAM consumptions will be there in some cases. You need to understand, okay, in that point of time, my application need to cut down using that RAM usage, extreme RAM usage. So you need to throw an exception. You are using mobile phones, using headphones. You are using, you are using some mobile app, music app. You are using some music app, and if the music volume is being increased above 70, it will throw an error. It will throw a warning. So it's a kind of exception. It's a kind of exception. So that can be handled. That exception can be handled. So then other type of exceptions are there which we cannot handle. That are compulsory exceptions. That is I'm using Windows operating system. If it asking me for okay bro, should I restart and update your Windows operating system, I said no, but it will forcefully do that update. So that's one compulsory exception. I cannot stop that one. So that's the thing, difference between user defined and predefined exceptions, and you need to handle the exceptions. And some sort of popular exceptions is null pointer exception or IY exception, and divided by 0 exception. That means if it is a equal to 1 by 0, it's a divided by 0 exception, because divided by 0 is not there in mathematics. It will show an infinity like that. And most interesting concept in fifth unit is GUI, graphical user interface. And before that, cleanup actions they need to be focused. Cleanup actions means how your data can be captured, how your data can be operated, and after using those variables, how you need to clean the data. I mean, how you need to clear the memory, and you need to release the processor for later processing. Like that, you need to understand. And graphical user interface, how you are using terminals till now, and how graphical user interface added color to your life, color to your programming structure, and what are the things, libraries you need to focus on using GUI, graphical user interface. Tkinter is the basic library we are using for graphical user interface programs, and also Turtle. So we have two programs using Turtle and Tkinter, calculator and some sort of circle creation using Turtle. Yeah, calculator using Tkinter, Turtle program for some sort of shapes creation. So I will show that also. Actually, one video I already released using Turtle by creating abstract circles like that. I'm going to explain everything, but in this fifth unit, one important thing is there, that is exception handling and importance of GUI, and GUI based programs, sample programs they can ask, like using Turtle, some sort of calculator creation or something. And if you are not completely good at coding, try to quit this unit 5 if it is because it is a more programming, a large programming thing. But if you want to focus on some sort of textual, theoretical part, you can go for exception handlings, and you can explain about try, except, and finally blocks. So with some sample examples. So this is all about this one syllabus. But now I'm going to tell about one thing, how to explain your answer on answer sheet. First of all, first rule, don't write theories. Don't write theory for practical question, that is programming question. In programming subject, 95% they will not give any theory questions. They may give 5 to 10%, because those 5 to 10% will be from first unit itself, not from other units. And remaining in that 5, 2.5 is for essay question, that is first unit. Theory question will be there, compulsory, explaining about features of Python programming, or what are the differences between using IDLEs or standardized terminal things. Some sort of simple questions will be there, theory questions. You can use theory explanation for that, and also remaining 2.5% will be from 2 marks questions. So 2 marks questions, most of the 2 marks questions will be in the form of theory. If it is not theory, you are damn lucky, because writing theory, we cannot project our talent. Writing a code, we can project our talent, right? So if you are writing code, then you can directly think that you need not to give such type of stupid explanations. Evaluator know what is factorial. You need not to give complete explanation. You need to focus on syntax. Definition completed, example thing completed, that is you are telling that I am using Fibonacci series as a recursive function example. Okay, well and good, it's completely fine. Then what you need to do, you need to mention program. You need to give the side heading like program. You need to give complete example like how much time, how that Fibonacci series is going on in the form of recursive function. That's a cute thing with indentations. Def function 1, unitary variables, double colon. After clicking enter, 4 spaces will be there. That's an indentation for a function. So you need to follow the indentation clearly and don't strike it off any wrong code syntax in your answer sheet. It will carry a bad impression to the evaluator. So if you are striking off, even it is a wrong, leave it. Don't rub that one. Don't make it as a rod look. Okay, na? If you are using black pen, it will create a sense like it is a painting or something like that. So because while you are using a ball pen or ink pens, if you strike it off in a wrong way or awkward way, impression will be in the bottom pages. So don't do like that. If it is a wrong, you feel wrong, just draw the cross lines or that code, and below that you can write. Otherwise you can make it as a box or the code which is a false, strike it off like one cross, then beside or below that write the right code. That's it. Don't strike it off like completely like a mesh. Don't do like this mosquito mesh shape to your wrong code. So it will create an awkward situation for evaluator. Then we need to focus on sample output. You need not to mention anything and describe anything in the code. If you want to describe anything, after syntax, just give a comment. This one is the recursive function. So this is happening. Beside all of the code only, just make hash and make a comment. Like that, it will be cute. It will be looking cute like that. And next one, sample output, expected output. You need to mention the word expected output, not output, expected output. So give some respect to the reviewer, evaluator. So if it is output, even though it is a valid output, mention it as an expected output. That means they can get an idea that okay, this person is trying something to express. Like that, they will create confidence on your answers. So like that, you need to mention 95%, 90 to 95% of the question paper will be consisting of only questions related to program, not theoretical. Don't write any stories related to Bahubali Sahu or something like that, Kill Bill Pandey, nothing like that. Don't write any stories. If you are unable to write code, at least write syntax and write sample output. It's fine. Just write that only. And Python is using small codes. You know that one. So if it is Java programming or C programming, for the same recursive function, you need to write a long code of 50 to 60 lines. But here 10 to 15 lines, it will be completed. Okay, then very good, very well. But for the small code, will I get 15 marks or 7 marks, 8 marks, 10 marks? No. The presentation is important. As I said earlier, the presentation, definition, example, syntax, program, expected output. All these 5 things will be there. Definition, example, syntax, program, output. All these 5 things need to be there in your answer sheet for every programming question. If there is a question you didn't understand whether they are asking for program or not. If it is a programming question, even though they didn't ask, you write that one. Even though they didn't ask, you write that one. But for such questions, write some theory part for 2 paras. Each para 2 to 3 lines. That's it, sir. And then definition, example, syntax, code, output. Same story. That only. So don't give extended stories in your programming subjects. So no invigilator will try to evaluate, no evaluator will try to show some interest in evaluating your answer sheets if you write stories in programming language. So I think most of the students got less marks in the internals because of this tough schedule, because of the pandemic. No problem, try to focus on external completely. So study on the things which are mostly required. So as I said, so you need to focus on a few things related to programming. From unit 1 you need to talk about introduction to Python programming, Python programming development cycle, processings, output, input, input taking from input from keyboard, expect type conversions, and also some sort of logical operations, arithmetic operations, logical operations, bitwise operations, like this different types of operations in Python, and also some sort of decision structures, if else, nested if else, like that. Nested conditions are there, logical operations are there, Boolean variables are there, repetition structures are there, and calculating the running total, input validation loops, nested loops, all these things are there. But need to focus on few things like type conversions and how the variables will be handled, and also how these decision structures, if conditions is being used there in first unit. So in first unit you need to focus on these things. In second unit you need to focus on while loop, for loop, and also slicing, strings and substrings operation. You need to focus on these things. And also second thing, data encryption and decryption. So code is available on that, data encryption, decryption, and also number systems, some sort of DLD concept, digital logic design concept. And also yeah, that's it from second unit. And coming to third unit, list, dictionaries, tuples, sets. Dictionaries, tuples, sets and tuples are not discussed in this syllabus, but you need to focus on that also. You need to mention if there is any case of explain about data structures in Python, you need to discuss about those four things. And please don't use original data structures concept in Python. Don't mention trees, graphs, linked list, queues in stacks, arrays, hash tables in data structures in Python, please. And some sort of mathematical operation, case study, file system, higher order functions, and namespaces, like this few things are there. And mostly you need to focus on modules and packages. If you are if your question paper is consisting of modules and packages, create a sample add program, adding a program using one function, and call that file name of the first program in the second from file name 1, import that function, add function, so that you can use that add function directly in your second program. That means you are using modules and packages in the second program. Like this you can differentiate. Use simple programs, but describe them in a quality manner, with some sort of structure, syntax, definition, program output. Indentation must. And please don't use colored pencils, please. And unit 4, you need to focus on file systems, opening, closing, file operations, blah blah blah, something like that. And classes, objects, and what are the constructors and destructors, what is the purpose of constructor, and inheritance concept. This is the main OOPS concept: inheritance, overlapping, overriding operators, and adding and retrieving dynamic attributes of the classes, and programming using OOPS support. So like this, design the classes, how we are need to create a class, how we need to create an object to the class, how you are initializing the class, and all those things. In case study with an ATM program, I will share that ATM program's IP and by file in my comment section, description section. You can check it one. And polymorphism existing in many forms, you can go through that sample codes. And unit 5, important questions is exception handling, try, except, finally. You need to look over that one. That is next one, cleanup actions. A specific question will be there in either in 2 sets. Cleanup actions will be there. You need to check answers for cleanup actions. And also GUI, what is the purpose of graphical user interface, you need to understand. And then you need to focus on few other things like what are the operations you can perform using turtle and TechInter. So this is all about understanding the syllabus and what are the important questions you can get in examinations. So instead of studying entire syllabus, first of all, you need to focus on few concepts. If you want me to suggest, first unit 1, completely study unit 1, because you can get a maximum part of unit 2 and unit 3 and unit 1 itself. Then go some practical approach with unit 2 and unit 3. Then if you have time, then go with unit 4 and choose unit 5 for one part. I mean, either or questions will be there na in JNTUK, so it will be helpful for you. And don't leave unit 4, because they will give some sort of sample examples: method overriding, overlapping, inheritance, polymorphism, exception handling, abstraction, like that. So creating classes, creating objects, some sample examples they will ask. Please to follow some sample structures which your lecturers delivered you in the class. So this is the procedure you need to follow while studying for Python programming. I think this thing is helpful for you. This video is helpful for you. Please do share this video so that it will be helpful for your friends too in other colleges who are about to appear for 2-1 semester R19 regulation of JNTUK CS and IT people. And in next lecture, in next video, maybe tomorrow, I will release about I will show some sort of coding things, some coding, important coding parts you need to focus on related to this one. So until now, if you like the video, share the video, like the video, press the subscribe button. If you are not subscribed to my channel Tech and Life, please subscribe to my channel Tech and Life, and then you can get further notifications related to the subject related stuff like this. And thanks for your patience for 1 hour, and signing out. Bye.